Reading with your kids.
Hola, ni hao, konnichiwa, assalamu alaikum, shalom, jumbo, bienvenidos. Hi, my name is Jedley, and this is the Reading with Your Kids podcast, coming to you from beautiful Reedville, a delightful little neighborhood in the southwest corner of Boston, Massachusetts. We are so happy you are joining us here today. We have a wonderful guest. Her name is Stenetta Anthony, and she is the author of A Home for Sally. Hey, for all the authors that are listening out there, I wanted to share with you this great email that we received here at the Reading with Your Kids podcast from Dr. Linda Mubarak. She is a past guest and the author of Maxine's New Job. Here's the email. Dear Fatima and Jed, good news! Maxine's New Job has been nominated to receive the prestigious Henri Award at the 2018 Christian Literacy Awards for Outstanding Literacy Work in the Children's Book Division. I sincerely believe your certifying Maxine as a great read helped bring increased social media attention to the book. Thank you for the exposure and the great marketing. We are so happy for Dr. Linda Mubarak that her book, Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read, Maxine's New Job, received this prestigious recognition. We would love to help your book receive that same kind of recognition. If you are interested in having your book considered for our Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read program, please visit our website, readingwithyourkids.com. You can click on the contact button, send us a note, and we'll send all the information back to you, or you can go right to our Certified Great Read page on our website. It's fun, it's easy, and it is really an effective way to let the world know that your book stands out above all the rest. The Reading with Your Kids Certified Great Read program. Joining us on the line right now from Chicago in Illinois, she is the author of a number of great books. We're going to be speaking to her today about her beautiful picture book. It's called A Home for Sally. Please welcome to the show, Stenetta Anthony. Stenetta, how are you?
Hi, Jed. How are you? Doing good today.
I'm wonderful. I am here in the subterranean studios of the podcast, and my little adopted shelter dog, Augie, is sitting right next to me on the couch, making sure I don't make any mistakes or making sure I don't make too many mistakes.
Okay, well, I'm glad he's there with you.
He is. He's great. And, so I absolutely can relate to the feeling behind A Home for Sally. Can you tell us a little bit about the story and what inspired you to write it?
Well, A Home for Sally is the basic gist of it is about a special needs puppy. Her name is Sally. She was placed in a shelter by her former owner because she could no longer take care of her and her siblings. Mm-hmm. So after they were placed in the shelter, Sally went through some challenges while being in the shelter. All of the other dogs were being adopted, but they were considered quote-unquote normal. They had a normal appearance, but not Sally. She's missing a part. And so Sally gets bullied by dogs and humans alike. She goes through challenges of feeling inferior to other dogs because of her appearance. And so she goes through a lot. And she has a happy ending, but it speaks to, I believe, dogs or canines or any type of animals who are in a shelter. And they're just waiting to be adopted. And they're just going through, well, what about me? And that's some of the things that Sally, and that's one of the lines that's in Sally, A Home for Sally, which she says, what about me? Mm-hmm. Because she was what everyone wants, what every dog wants, what every cat or whatever animal wants that's in a shelter, and that's to be adopted. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so that's the gist of her story.
And I think it's not too much of a stretch to say that what Sally wants is what every human being wants too, is a forever home, a place where we feel loved and safe.
Yes, Exactly. That's what she wants.
Now, was there a Sally in your life that inspired you to write this book?
No, not really. I was looking at a television program one day, and what inspired me is I'm always when I'm watching television and they show where they're featuring all of the pets to be adopted during National Adoption Month and everything. And one of the things that I noticed was they never brought on any animals or pets with disabilities. And I was like, they're featuring everyone, which is great because you want the message to be, okay, adoption, and we want to adopt. But I've just never seen them bring out one. I'm saying personally, it may be someplace else, but I've just never seen them bring out a special needs animal. And I was like, okay, I know there's some, and there's plenty of them, but where are they? Why aren't they being featured? Why aren't their stories being told? Why aren't they on the national circuit when dogs are being featured?
Yeah.
So I felt that we need to talk about, a person, even though it's a fictional book, I still believe that it just speaks to a lot of how the emotions of a canine feels.
And I think that this is a great way for parents and families to talk not only about dogs and cats with special needs, but also talk about human beings and the fact that just because another human being has different abilities or looks different, that person still can give love and deserves to be loved and deserves to feel loved and to feel at home.
Exactly. And it does speak to, even though it's about a dog, it can be equated to a person, because I feel like we all have some type of handicap, whether it's visible or not visible. But there's something that's a little unique and a little different about all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, it took me a long while to be able to have a video Skype session like this showing my disability. I lost all of my hair. It was tragic. I'm so upset. But it's wonderful that you've created this book that allows families to talk about this, because I think it can be difficult sometimes to talk about folks who are different, and to remind kids and to remind ourselves that everybody deserves to be respected.
And that's true. And so with Sally, she's bullied. And she's bullied by adults. Not just her animal community, but she's bullied by adults too, where they're making fun of her too. And that's not great, because we do that sometimes. We see someone different, I'm going to say a little different from us, and sometimes we stare, which is not good. We stare, and sometimes we make comments, or, just don't do anything. It's just like, okay, they look a little different. What should I say? What should I do? How can I bring them into my circle? And so, yeah.
Now, you've been a teacher for a number of years. Were you inspired in some ways by the experiences you had in the classrooms?
Yes, I am. Okay, I was a special needs educator. So that was part of what I had to do in the classroom. And you've seen the challenges that students went through when they had a special need. Sometimes they were pushed aside and not always accepted. Even walking down the hallways with the other children, they would laugh at them and make fun of them. And you could see the tears in their eyes, even though sometimes they wouldn't say anything, but you could see the emotions and the feelings that were going on, that I'm just as special as you are. And I'm good. And I'm good. I just look a little different. Just like you said, your hair. I have a finger that I used to didn't hold up. In my finger, when I hold it up, it makes a not so nice sign.
Okay.
And so it looks like it's a profanity word with my finger, but it's not. It's just the way my finger is. I can't help it.
I imagine that might have caused some conversations in the classroom. Maybe not with you, but at least amongst the kids.
Well, it has caused conversation with children and adults alike. And I'm like, I'm not trying to say anything. It's just the way it is.
Now you're the author of a number of books, and you're also a co-contributor of a book that really caught my eye, Michelle Obama's Impact on African American Women and Girls. Can you tell us a little bit about what you contributed to that book?
Well, I contributed a poem to that book, and it's called, oh my goodness, it's called Power. Mm-hmm. And so that talks about, the poem talks about how Michelle Obama exhibited power, but in a feminine manner. So that's my contribution to that. So that's how I felt, that she was a woman of power. She was the first lady of our country, but she was still held her femininity as a woman. And was strong, and she still does.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, the one thing about Mrs. Obama that she was always had and always has an air of respect for others. That's the sense that I have. Even when she's communicating with somebody that she may disagree with, she always communicates that with respect.
Yes, she does, and I appreciate her for showing us as a nation that we can respect others without being out there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say not using the nice words.
Right. Now, one of the things the Reading with Your Kids podcast, we're all about inspiring parents to spend more time reading with kids and cooking with kids and hiking and doing all sorts of things with kids. As an educator, what did you see as a benefit? Were you able to kind of get a sense for students that you've dealt with that, this kid's really lacking interaction with parents or with adults at home, but this kid has it? As an educator, what's your experience on the importance of spending time reading with kids and doing things with kids?
It's essential to read with them because we have the law, no child left behind. And you still see children who are left behind. And so we have where they're kind of just passing. Me and my husband actually had this conversation the other day about there are so many children that are passing and they don't know how to read. They don't know how to write. And so they don't have the support at home to guide them and direct them that, okay, this is what I need and this is how I can get forward to make it in life. And so, and there are parents who are illiterate. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know how to do it, ask for some help from someone else who knows how to do it, who can assist your child, who can tutor with your child. Or have your child read to you, which is important because you can hear what they're saying and you can see if they're understanding what is being taught in the classroom. Because you're the teacher in the classroom, but you're only the teacher for so many hours. And after those hours are done, then the responsibility falls upon the parent, the guardian, the caregiver, or whomever at that time. Mm-hmm. And so all my children are adults now, but I read with my grandchildren. And we get a kick out of it. Mm-hmm. They love it. I love it. And we're dramatic about it.
Yeah.
So when we're reading it could be something serious, but I try to make it dramatic for them and make it fun for them and serious for them. And I don't take when they say I can't do it, you can do it. Mm-hmm. I don't accept that excuse of you can't do it. And so even with children, they'll say I can't, but you have to enforce in them that you can. Mm-hmm. And push them forward to excel in life, to the next grade level, to their own personal dreams and goals. You push them to that. You push them forward.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I say to my niece, and it drives her crazy, when she's trying something and she says, I can't, and I go to correct her and she goes, I know, I can't do it yet. I can't do it yet. All right, I know, and I'm going to try it again. And so, mm-hmm. But I think that's so important, just that 3-letter word, yet. Emphasizing to the kids, okay, you can't do it now, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. You just can't do it yet. You haven't learned how to do it yet.
That's correct. You have to go on. And we as adults, we sometimes get stagnant and we don't want to move forward. And we have to push ourselves to move forward as well. Mm-hmm. So as parents, you have to push. We may not know everything, and of course we don't know everything. But the internet is a wide teacher. Mm-hmm. So what you don't know, I would advise you to get on the internet and find it. Or if you don't have an internet at home or computer, the library is still a good source. Get a library card. A lot of libraries have the summer reading programs. Mm-hmm. And so I take my grandchildren now for the summer reading program, and they get prizes and stuff, which they like, but there's an advantage there too. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I present my educational magic show at a lot of libraries in conjunction with their summer reading programs, and the kids they get prizes and they get books, but the mm-hmm. thing that they prize the most is the time that they're spending there with their parents or their grandparents or that person, that adult in their life that they love and that they want to be with so much.
So true. Yeah. It's just so important to connect with them. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have the time, we get busy. Try to find another adult who would dedicate the time. This summer I spent with my grandchildren, which was I created a summer camp with them, and it was the best. I was tired after about 6 weeks. I was tired, but they all created their own books, which I am so proud of. I was just so proud of them. And so they created their own books. We had our lesson plans. We had our playtime. We had our summer camp in the house. So you can have a summer camp at home, too. Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm. And just hearing the joy in your voice, even when you're saying, I was tired, but it was a joyful tired.
It was. It was a joyful tired. So you have to learn how to create with your children. Do something different. Think outside the box. Mm-hmm. Think outside the box. Mm-hmm.
Well, you were mentioning that the internet is a wonderful resource for parents, a great way to learn new things. I know that people listening are going to want to know where to go on the internet to learn more about Stenetta Anthony and her wonderful books.
Okay, so you can find out about me on my website, which is Stenetta Anthony.weebly.com. So you spell my name because it's a really funny name. STENETTA.ANTHONY.weebly, WEEBLY.com. So that's where you can find me.
Yeah.
Or you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me.
Well, that's how we found you, and we're so glad that we did. If you're a family at home, whether you have a dog, whether you're considering adopting a dog, whether your kid just loves dogs, I think a home for Sally is a wonderful investment of your time, a wonderful addition to your family library, a great way to talk about love, talk about family, to talk about respecting every being on Earth. Stenetta, I'm so happy that we had this chance to speak with you today. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you having me on.
Please be sure to join us for the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast. We'll be welcoming back our friend Sheila Deer. Sheila has a beautiful series of books called the Why Are You Afraid series that help kids see the humanity in every single kid that's out there. It really is a beautiful series, a series that is near and dear to my heart. Hey, I want to thank Stenetta Anthony for being here today. Thank you so very much. Make sure you check out her books. We also want to thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Thank you so much for listening to my friend Chris Hardy as he sings about my great new children's book, The Great Maratini. And also thank you so much for making the world a better place by always taking time to read with your kids. I'll be looking for you in the next edition of the Reading with Your Kids podcast. This episode of the Reading with Your Kids podcast is brought to you by Jetley's award-winning children's book, The Great Maratini.
A very long time ago, there was a boy named Sam who liked to do his magic tricks, and he was quite the ham. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage. Every trick Sam tried to do would somehow come out wrong, but Sam just kept on going, and that's what made him strong. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage. One day as he traveled, he helped a stranger in need, and this was not a trick, oh no, but a magical good deed. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage. He was called the Great Maratini, the best magician of his age, but his greatest feat took place far away from any stage.
To get your autographed copy of the giant bilingual edition of The Great Maratini, please visit greatmaratini.com.